And moments ago, the national anthem and the mental preparation for the game ahead. Welcome, everyone. Let's get ready for some NBA basketball on 2K Sports. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. And joining us a bit later from the sidelines, Doris Burke. A quick check now at the starting five for both teams. And guys, what do you think we'll be seeing from Josh Smith in this one?
Yeah, he always gives the fans a temporary souvenir, it seems like, blocking 2 or 3 shots into the 10th row. Of course, you got to give the ball back, so very temporary souvenir.
We're going to have to change that because in baseball, when they knock those foul balls, they don't go check
them. You can keep them, that's right.
Yeah, same with the NFL. If the ball happens to get by the net, you can keep the ball.
That, right. Well, we need to change that in basketball.
I agree.
Also, there's one other thing I've noticed with him. I mean, he's great at stripping the ball away from you at the last possible moment. That's not an easy play to make, but he seems to have developed the knack for doing just that.
So for the Celtics, their last game, a win against the... Rondo with it. He's had some playing time, but no scoring yet from him. Feeds to Humphries. And there's a whistle that goes against Joe Monroe. That'll be his second foul of the game.
That's his second foul already, and that's going to force him to, I think, tone it down a little bit at the defensive end.
Humphries, the pass to Rondo. Knocked loose.
It's been kind of a comedy of errors for them in the first half so far. They've been all over the place.
Yeah, you can see it in the number of turnovers they've committed. It has not been pretty offensively.
Humphries against West. 6 to shoot. Monroe. The shot's good on the assist by West. And the Pistons lead by 11. And guys, let's get your take on the hustle stats for the Pistons.
Well, I think the defensive aggressiveness on display here has caught him off guard. Playing airtight defense and coming up with the steal.
And the offensive rebounding has been really impressive so far as well. So I really like this team's effort tonight.
The screenplay worked ideally there, and I'm not talking about the screenplay you see in a movie theater. Gave him more than enough room to get that shot off.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jeff Green. That'll be his second foul of the game.
Tough call there and a tough break for the defense.
But, you know, I think you could still see him kind of sliding in there. I don't have a problem with the call.
Here's what Boston's going with right now. Brandon Bass is checked in for Jared Sullinger. Wallace comes in for Jeff Green. And Jordan Crawford is subbed in for Avery Bradley.
Well, you know, last season I think officially brought the immediate championship aspirations of the Celtics to a close. The 7th seed in the East, dispatched in the first round by the Knicks. The rebuild was on in full cycle. Rondo, a master at setting up teammates.
Pistons leading by 6. Doris Burke has some information for us. Doris?
Kevin, thank you. I spoke with the Pistons head coach for just a bit. This is their first matchup of the season against this squad, and he knows the shot blocking in the middle will certainly be an obstacle. But he said, quote, "We've got to remain aggressive and continue to attack." Guys, he said that putting their bigs in high pick and rolls and shooting the open jumper with confidence will be key. We'll see how they do.
Thanks for that report, Doris. Guys, do you think we'll see game plan early on that might end up developing through the game as far as getting through this very tough defense?
I think there's almost no question that what they're doing offensively at the beginning of the game will change several times before we're finished.
Well, that's what the defense they're facing forces you to do. You have to be ready to adjust and make some changes. It's too complex a defensive scheme to just attack it one set way.
And back to the Celtics, making the playoffs, sure, but, you know, not like Steve back in 08 or 2010.
Well, this has been a phenomenal era, you know, with KG and Pierce that is now a thing of the past. But look, they've hoisted a championship banner, very close to another. But it's just time to move on, and that's just the way it is in the NBA. These things go in waves, and the Celtics now in rebuilding mode.
Rondo against Bynum. He feeds it to Urebko. He's against Green. Lets it go from 14. Urebko can't get it to go.
Jonas Jerebko is really a mobile, hustling four-man out of Sweden. I mean, a nice find for the Pistons as a second-round pick back in 2009.
And Jerebko had that Achilles tear, missed the 2010-2011 season.
Yeah, but he bounced back nicely. A little bit of a tweener, kind of a small forward, power forward hybrid, but he's tough. You love the energy and the defense that he brings to the game.
Yeah, Jonas is a nice rotation big, you're right. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for Boston. And West backs in. There's the dish to Jerebko. Passes it to Bynum. The three. No good. Now the Celtics take it the other way. First chance of the season for them to go up against this Pistons team.
Yeah, they dropped the season series to this team a year ago, so those games definitely were not their best performances of the year.
Well, you knew the run would come, and here it is. They're playing well now, trying to get back in this thing.
Yeah, pretty good comeback effort here. Rolling along nicely, and they've gotten themselves within striking distance now.
West off the pick from Drummond. West kicks to Billups. Lee with the steal. Guys, a potent offense right now.
Yeah, Kevin, really the offense is flowing quite nicely right now.
Playing with a lot of confidence, just some self-assurance there. I like what we're seeing.
And as Steve just alluded to, this wasn't an opponent that too many teams had trouble with last season. They were one of the few that did.
Well, they seem to have a hard time getting up for those games, guys. I mean, they were an example of how sometimes you can indeed play down to your opponent, or your opponent plays up to you.
And a foul on the shot. They'll go to the stripe for two. And he's got his first free throw of the game. And it's tied up with that one.
Courtney Lee out of Western Kentucky. You know, last season a mid-level signee by the Celtics. Competes at the defensive end. Offensively, he's a good shooter with his feet set from long range, and really kind of like
Detroit's gotten both of their three-point attempts to go down here in the second quarter. West, he's in at small forward. Smith out there with Jerebko. Then there's Rodney Stuckey, and it's Jennings in at the point guard. That's the group for Detroit right now. Screen by Smith. Shot clock at 6. Stuckey kicks to Jennings. And again, it's the Pistons missing. And for Courtney Lee, probably his best shots is that three-pointer.
Yeah, I think so. You know, he's a guy who can get out and transition and finish at the rim, but he's got a career three-point average of about 38%. So look for him to be even more aggressive firing away out there.
Jennings against Rondo. Shoots off the step back. That's good on the jump shot. And here in the second quarter of action as we approach 4 minutes played. Jennings dishes to West. Jerebko. Back to West. Releases from the wing and drills it. West has got 5 now. Well, for Detroit, their last game a loss to the Grizzlies in Memphis.
Well, they were in foul trouble throughout that game, guys, and made things awfully hard on themselves as a result.
Yeah, it forced them to go much deeper into their rotation than they would have liked to, and that's always tough. I tell you what, you can shake your confidence missing wide open shots like that.
Chance there to take the lead, missing. The Celtics have gone 4 of 7 from the field in this second quarter so far. Look from Green. Rodney Stuckey pulls it in. Stuckey's got rebound number 5 here tonight. He passes to Jerebko. West outside. Shot clock at 5. Great tee that time from Green.
Excellent. Really solid job, actually, by the defense to get in his way as he was going up for that.
Humphries the pass to Wallace. West is there. Wallace kicks to Rondo. Here's Bradley. And it's good coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got 6 assists now in the game. Pistons trail by 3. Clark, some tough offensive sets. They want to turn it around.
Yeah, they need a basket just to regain some momentum here, Kevin.
And the whistle blows. It's going to be on Jeff Green. That's his third foul of the game.
And, you know, these calls can be some of the toughest in the game for the officials.
It all happened so fast, but I really think that was the right call. The defender was not really set in that situation.
Brandon Bass is checked in for Chris Humphries. Now West. 8 points his last outing. Stuckey left side. 6 on the shot clock. Jennings. Off target from outside.
Ouch. Another miss to add to what's been a miserable game for him from the field.
Sullinger with a screen for Rondo. Right side Bradley. Plenty of space. It's rebounded by Uretko.
Well, his shot's been off today, no question. He's not the guy they're going to want to look to if they want to keep this lead where it is. You know, one thing you know about Bass is that he's going to knock some people around underneath. He's very strong. He's not real tall for a front court man, but he's strong and he's skilled as well. You know, he'll knock down shots, but he loves getting on the offensive glass.
Oh, yeah, he'll make guys who have 4 or 5 inches on him look like a crash test dummy the way he throws him around. Bass is a big guy. He has no problem letting you know it. And you know what? His outside shot loosens up everything inside, spacing the floor beautifully for the Boston Celtics. Rondo kicks to Wallace. And that's out of bounds. Boston will retain possession.
We'll get a chance to check out Brandon Jennings, some of his numbers. Solid numbers last season. 16th in assists. And he was also among the league leaders in steals, finishing in the top 20 in that category.
And Steve, you're right. He definitely had a terrific season when it came to passing the basketball. I mean, he was just exquisite with his creativity and his consistency in getting the ball to the right player at the right time.
Chauncey Billups checked in for Rodney Stuckey. West dishes to Monroe. Rebounded by Wallace. Celtics leading by 3, and Jay gets the whistle that time. That is his first foul of the game. Outside Rondo. He lobs it up and finished off by Bass.
Phenomenal alley-oop slam right there, guys.
They're taking advantage, Clark, of a team that looks lost out there.
Yeah, this is threatening to get kind of ugly out here.
West a screen on Rondo. Jennings kicks it to West. The pass to Smith. Back to West. Outside West. Just 5 to shoot. Rondo with the steal. Now let's go to Doris Burke. Doris.
Hey, Kevin, Jay in that last game against the Grizzlies came through when they needed him to. He finished with 8 points, and along with what he did on the offensive end, he also played some stellar defense as well. Overall, just an incredible bonus for his team as he made a big impact coming off the bench.
All right, Doris, thanks. That really was a spectacular game for him, even by Steve his standards.
Well, those are pretty high standards ordinarily. We'll see how much it carries over. It's not a performance that will be easy to repeat.
But you like to have that in your arsenal and on your resume so you can call on it the next time you get out on the court. So I think it'll serve him better than it won't.
Rondo passes to Wallace. That'll be Boston as it goes out of bounds. Celtics retain possession. Let's give a look now at the 2K leaderboard to see who led the league in assists last year. Number 1, Rajon Rondo.
Well, he'd love to have the same kind of season this year. I mean, nobody was better last year at creating easy baskets for their teammates.
And here's Bass. Outside Rondo. He kicks it to Sullinger. And it's good, coming on the assist by Rajon Rondo. Rondo's got assist number 8 now on the night. Back to Smith. Dishes it to West. Outside Jennings. Off target from 3-point range.
You know, you look at the Pistons, and they have a fair amount of young talent to build around, but one element they lacked was perimeter shooting. As a result, they never really were able to stretch out opposing defenses, and when you can't do that, it makes it hard to score.
Wallace's shot is good. Jeff Green, he's checked in for the Celtics. Marshawn Brooks comes in for Gerald Wallace. And the first half ends in a close one. It's the Celtics up by 3. It's the NBA on 2K Sports from the Palace of Auburn Hills.
And now, brought to you by Sprint.
And it's a battle underway out in Detroit as we get going to recap the action. A tightly contested game for the Celtics up against the Detroit Pistons. They've gotten a tremendous boost from their reserves, going to them early in the game for production. Rajon Rondo playing impressively so far. He's got 4 points and a few steals too, staying active on the defensive end of the floor. And for Detroit's angle, they've been grinding away. They're getting up in guys' jerseys, looking to send every shot into the 12th row. And that's all there is for me here in the studio. Time to send you back to my friend Kevin Harlan and the crew for the second half.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
The third quarter now beginning. Both sides looking to pull away in the last half of the game.
Just absolute domination in this one for Rodney Stuckey. 13 points, and he's managed to get 4 of his points by way of the...
The Pistons have gone only 1 of 6 in the field in the third quarter. Not how they pictured the half started. On the court for the Celtics, speedy backcourt of Rondo and Bradley. Inside it's Sullinger and Humphries, and it's Bogans in at the 3.
You know, Jared Sullinger was one of the top prospects in the 2012 draft, but concerns about his back dropped him to the 21st pick by Boston. And, you know, those concerns were well-founded. He ended up going under the knife in February after a back issue in Boston. He did play well, though, prior to that injury.
D there, guys, was pretty much non-existent. I mean, you can't leave a good shooter like that open.
Pass to West. Now the feed to Stuckey. Nice ball movement by Detroit. And Monroe kicks to Stuckey. He dishes it to West. Clock at 6. Pass to Jennings. Outside Jennings. The good-looking shot from the lane. Jennings has got 7 points in the game. Back to Sullinger. He's been playing pretty much all season in pain, showing a lot of grit and toughness, I thought, Clark, as the season wore on.
Yeah, Kevin, and the good news as his back recovers is that his game was never really based on his leaping ability. His game is low to the ground, based on savvy and skill. He's strong, powerful, and again, very skilled. So the recovery prognosis is good, and I think he's looking forward to a long and productive career. He's a really good basketball player.
West off the pick from Monroe. It's West with the drive. There's Jennings with the 3. Jennings can't get that one to fall.
Well, if this game comes down to the rebounding battle, they'll be the ones coming out on top.
Yeah, they've been really strong in the paint, battling the glass.
It's tipped and stolen by Jennings. Oh, and there's the alley-oop. It's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
Well, the sailing was not smooth for Jay Smooth last year, as he had some contentious moments with the Hawks organization at times. Was even suspended a game by the team back last January.
And even though Josh Smith is from Atlanta, there have been some misgivings there really from the beginning.
Yeah, you know, after he said he wanted that max contract, his name came up going into the trade deadline. In the end, the Hawks didn't get any offers they liked, so they just allowed him to hit unrestricted free agency this offseason.
Looking at who's out there now for the Pistons. Andre Drummond comes in for Greg Monroe. And it's Bynum in for Brandon Jennings. Bynum kicks it to West. Back to Bynum. Feeds it to Drummond. Pass to West. 6 to shoot. Rodney Stuckey on the wing. Well set in the pick for Stuckey. Shot off the pick. Will not go. This is off the front iron. Boston leading by 7. Kicks it to Sullinger. He feeds it to Rondo. The dish to Bradley. Bogans. Back to Bradley. From deep three-point range, it's Drummond with the rebound. Drummond's got 3 rebounds so far in the game.
Well, eventually he'll start knocking those down. Again, he did make 2 in the first half.
Out of bounds, Boston takes possession. Boston making some changes. Brandon Bass is checked in for Humphries. And it's Green in for Jared Sullinger. Now here's Rondo. He has 6. He passes it to Crawford. He kicks to Green. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. And this is what the schedule looks like for the Boston Celtics. Up next for them, the Grizzlies at the FedEx Forum. That will conclude their brief 2-game road trip.
Yeah, you know the fans out in Memphis really hoping their team can win that one.
Pistons trail by 7. Bynum gets a screen from West. Bynum dishes to West. That's in, coming off the assist from Bynum. And 11 points for Jay.
And that's why teams emphasize the use of screens and picks, just to get you some open looks like that one.
Rondo kicks to Bass. Just 5 on the clock. It's off his foot. And the ref's whistling a kick ball. Courtney Lee, he's checked in for Rajon Rondo. Pistons on defense. 4-point game. Green covered by Monroe. 6 on the shot clock. Green kicks to Crawford for the 3. They grab their own miss. Lee gets the bucket. Lee's got 7.
Solid job by them on the glass here tonight. +8 in rebounds.
Well, you have to rebound to win, and that's exactly what's happening right now.
Here's Brooks. West with the ball. They retain possession. And that one's good. Lee's got 4 points now in the quarter. And guys, what do you think about the hustle stance for the Celtics?
Boy, their hounding, harassing effort to the defensive end, very impressive. And they forced quite a few turnovers as a result.
And the other thing they're doing is they're forcing turnovers and then converting those miscues into points at the other end.
Good.
And at the offensive end, he's done about as much as they could have hoped for today.
Well, as we take a look at the rankings, let's see where Detroit ended up last season. 13th in rebound, 14th in field goal percentage. And for blocks, interior defense, not a strong point for them. Just top 20 in the league.
West a screen on Crawford. The pass to West. To the paint. Drummond. Here's Caldwell Pope. Nice ball movement by Detroit. And the basket by West. West has got 13 points.
Well, he's been a real positive factor for them today, although, you know, as a team, they've had a lot of negatives mixed in there as well.
Here's Crawford. He's got 9. No good from Lee.
Well, I think he kind of alligator armed that one, short stroked it. After doing a nice job to get open, he didn't finish the shot. You knew that at some point the window for the group of Celtics that had won a title was going to close. I mean, it was inevitable. But last year it seemed like they were going to go for one last hurrah. They added some depth and looked to reload for another run.
There's the block. Bass with it. Dishes to Crawford. Fires the 3. Rebound by the Pistons. Drummond's got 4 rebounds in this game. And getting back to the Celtics and Rondo's injury, a lot of people expected them to start the rebuilding process. Ended up staying pat at the deadline, Steve. Even though there was, it seemed, a lot of interest.
You know, you want to give that group, KG and Pierce and Rondo, you want to give them another run. And they had their last hurrah. They didn't get it finished. And now you start the rebuilding project. So a lot of trades, a lot of movement over the summer. But I like the fact that they gave that club one more run.
Let's go to our sideline reporter, Doris Burke. Doris, what do you have?
Kevin, Josh Smith was an impressive big-name free agent signing for the Detroit Pistons, a team who tied for the 7th worst record in the league last season and 3rd worst in fan attendance. A bit of a surprising choice Mr. Smith, who had said that fan support would be a big factor in his free agency decision, and also stated that winning was all he cared about. Kevin, his quote, shot at a title may still be a ways away, but $56 million over 4 years isn't chump change, and he will make this team much better. Back to you.
He's become the face of the franchise, Doris. Thank you. And some change. And now Doris Burke has an update from the sidelines.
Kevin, the head coach for the Celtics, had some instructions.
Celtics leading by 4. West in its small forward. Greg Monroe is out there with Smith. Then there's Jennings, and it's Stuckey in at the shooting guard. That's the 5 and the 4 for the Pistons. Rondo, and it's blocked by Monroe. It's West with the drop, and a strong finish with 2 hands. And look at how the hustle game has been going for the Pistons.
Now we've seen them make that extra effort rotating from the weak side, closing out on their airspace, sending shots back.
And guys, I think you've got to give them credit for the number of steals they've taken away. I mean, a lot of effort on the defense from them tonight.
Rondo kicks to Humphries, knocks it loose. Jennings passes to West. It's back to Jennings. The shot's good on the assist by West. And that's 10 points for Brandon Jennings.
I'm sure that's a load off his line after not hitting a single three-pointer in the first half.
Rondo against Jennings. And Sullinger kicks to Green to stop the drought. Shot is blocked. And so it looks like the Celtics will retain possession here. Andre Drummond's checked in for West. Rondo dishes to Crawford. The feed to Sullinger. 5 on the clock. Foul call that time on the way up. That'll give him 2 chances at the free throw line here.
You know, we saw the promise last season, Jared Sullinger, a wide body with a really high basketball IQ. Just very skilled as a passer and a low-post scorer.
The first one falls. And for Jared Sullinger, he may have slipped in the draft, but a great situation for a lot of people feel for him in Boston.
Could not agree more. I tell you, playing alongside Kevin Garnett, played for Doc Rivers in his first year. I mean, you're going to learn a lot from those two about how to play in the NBA. I think he's ahead of his years as far as his basketball acumen. He's what we call an old head. Really has a nice understanding of the game. We've seen a noticeable improvement out of him since halftime. He didn't have a whole lot working in the first half.
Here's Humphries. Busted. No good that time either.
He had a defender draped all over. Not really the best shot there.
Well, not the shot you hope for when it's well contested like that.
Celtics trail by 5. Crawford passes to Rondo. Knocked away. Humphries kicks to Rondo. Kicks it out to Crawford. On deep. Gets it to go.
Boy, he made a nice little bounce pass there. We call that the pocket pass, and he did it well.
Pass to Smith. Sullinger's there. Smith dishes to West. Chris Humphries comes up with the rebound. Here's the break. Rondo kicks to Crawford. Back to Rondo. With the lead pass. Rejected by Monroe. Jennings kicks it to West. And a foul called on the shot. Got him on the way up that time, so he'll shoot 2 right here.
You know, the Pistons are really still a young team learning how to win in the league, but they made some strides last year because they started to win more consistently at home. And you could actually see this team becoming more consistent as the season went on.
The Pistons making a change here. Stuckey's checked in. And Clark, you talked about the Pistons last year at home. 18 of the team's 29 wins came right here, Steve, in Auburn Hills.
Well, it'll take baby steps for this team to improve year to year. And obviously making that big step, signing Josh Smith over the summer to go along with that young talent, bringing back Chauncey Billups. I think the Pistons are really looking to make a move here, and it's going to be a fun team to watch this season.
And that one's good. And the Celtics with possession here. They trail by 6. Humphries with a screen on Stuckey. And Sullinger kicks to Green. Green gets a screen from Sullinger. Rebounded by the Pistons. Drummond's got rebound number 10 tonight with that last one. Inside.
And the lead just grows on that ridiculous offensive sequence.
You know, Clark, that dunk alone would have been spectacular. Never mind it coming at the end of an alley-oop.
Yeah, that just added more to it.
Yeah, what a beautiful connection on that play.
Crawford kicks to Rondo. Five to shoot. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2. That one on Monroe.
Before his injury last season, it was quite clear. While the rest of the Celtics bunch could still hold their own, this would no doubt be Rondo's team moving forward.
And for Rondo and the Celtics, they've actually explored trading him in the past. You always heard the rumors he butted heads with Doc Rivers, and they wondered if he was too individualistic. But now they hand him the...
Your team breezed a victory this time around. It's got to be nice to get a little break tonight in the midst of a long season with more close games than you'd probably like. Your thoughts?
It was a nice win. The guys stepped up when they needed to and made sure that the outcome wasn't in question. It's a good feeling to know that the entire team seems to be on the same page and working together towards a common goal. And winning a game like this also gives us a great confidence boost moving forward. So hopefully we can keep it up. Looking forward to getting out there again next game.
And the players getting reacquainted prior to the tip. A pretty loose atmosphere out there. Welcome to 2K Sports for another edition of NBA basketball. This is Kevin Harlan along with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. Doris Burke will be reporting from the sidelines. The starting fives for our game. Here are tonight's starting lineups. One of the guys we'll be watching out for today, Greg Monroe.
And the thing you notice right away with Monroe, great hands both offensively and defensively. Got a soft touch on his shot and his passes. He really handles the ball probably better than most centers in this league.
I agree. I like his decision-making too, Steve. Not only the skills, but he makes good decisions. He's able to thread pinpoint passes. Some of that may be due to how Georgetown played when he was there. Princeton-style motion offense that utilizes the passing ability of its big guys.
And for the Pistons, we get another hometown game here in Detroit. And, of course, Ranger against West. Fires from 14. It's good, and he drew contact on the shot, so he will go to the line. A three-point play chance here. For Indiana, they have gone 2 for 2 in the game at the line.
Well, you got to love the season from David West last year, coming off the ACL tear back in 2011. I think he's completely back as far as that injury is concerned. He was so good last year, particularly in the playoffs.
West dishes to Stuckey. Back to West. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot. And David West, Clark, a locker room leader for the Pacers last season, helped lead them all the way to the Eastern Conference Finals, and a guy I know that we greatly admire.
Oh, my goodness. Love the way he does his work. I call him Real Deal 21. There's nothing fluffy about what he gets done, and he's so smart and so savvy in how he approaches the game, and really a lion in the locker room for the Pacers. That's why that team was so tough in many ways, particularly defensively.
Left side, West. And count it. 2 points with a chance for one more at the free throw line.
They got themselves in front with some outstanding shooting right off the bat.
Yep, it's been a clinic at that end of the floor, no question.
Mitchell, he's checked in for the Pistons.
Well, I tell you what, the Pacers did a lot of good things last year. Defended well, protected the rim and their home court. Really, the one area for improvement is probably the road record. They could get better in that area.
And so he draws the foul on the shot, a trip to the line to shoot 2. Well, Clark, as you said, the Pacers didn't play as well as they had hoped to on the road for a team that won the division. They were 19-21 away from Indianapolis, and Steve, not the kind of record they wanted to end with.
No, but if you're around 500 then you can control your home court, you're going to have a good season. And that's exactly what Indiana did. They ended up with the 3rd seed in the East, and all in all, a terrific year.
Hill kicks it to West. Nice shot from 10 feet out. West has got 9.
He has not missed yet. 4 for 4 in this first quarter.
Setting himself up to be their go-to guy today.
Jennings passes to West. Monroe sets a screen for West. He dishes it to Stuckey. He kicks it to Monroe. Jennings, shot clock at 6. It's good from long range. Jennings has got his 3rd basket of the night. Now let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Kevin, thank you. I spoke with the Pistons head coach for just a bit. We talked about David West and what makes him such a tough player to defend. Coach said, West is special because he's so skilled for a player of his size and strength. He can score inside and also spread the floor with his shooting. He can have a quiet night and still drop 20 and 10. So we've got to stay conscious of him at all times. Guys, we'll see how they do against him.
Thanks again, Doris. West dishes to Monroe. West. No good. That would have tied it.
And, you know, you talk about Frank Vogel, guys, and the Pacers. It seemed he won over his roster from the moment he took over. He placed a lot of confidence and trust in his players, and most importantly, brought a breath of positivity and positive energy to that locker room and to that team.
Good on the shot.
Little touch of class there, guys. The end of that play with the finger roll.
Now that we have a chance, let's go to the 2K leaderboard and reveal last season's top shot blockers. Fourth spot is held by Roy Hibbert.
He made it extremely tough for his opponents because he contested every shot and swatted away more than his fair share of.
Pistons trailed by 5. And back to Vogel, he really helped instill the identity of this Pacers team of toughness and defense, and Steve, that willingness to battle.
Yeah, it's a perfect fit with their personnel. The way he motivates this team to defend and play with that edge. I just love this group, the Pacers team, the talent, along with Frank Vogel. Just a really nice fit.
Last setting the pick for George. It's back to Hill. Now the pass to Granger. That's good. Granger's got his second bucket of the night.
You know, that's been a big part of their offense in the early stages. I mean, their success working the ball inside and getting points from close range, right at the rim.
And I would continue to do it. You know, force the defense to maybe send a double team. Now you've got other options to work with offensively.
West misses.
And they force the miss with that good defensive rotation. They're playing well together as a unit.
And George kicks to Hill. He feeds it to West. Outside, George. Pass to Hill. Indiana needs to get a shot off. Three-pointer, Granger. West with some nice D.
Tough three-point try there with a hand in his face.
Boy, you'd be lucky to make that one against great defense.
Monroe, the pass to West. What a nice show for these people.
I cannot believe he pulled that one out in the course of an actual game. Are you kidding me?
Oh, man. Might as well flaunt it if you've got it, Clark.
Hill dishes to Granger. That one wide left.
Even though he missed it, he couldn't pass up that chance.
Yeah, that's an easy jump shot. You got to take that one.
West kicks to Monroe. He's against Hibbert. Lets it go. Again, the Pistons score.
What, is there any defense played yet in this game?
Nope, this game has been all about rapid fire offense early.
Indiana making some changes. Mahaney's checked in for Hibbert. Scola comes in for David West. And Chris Copeland subbed in for Danny Granger. From the high post. Stevenson passes to Watson. That one goes. Count it. Watson's got his first points in this one.
Late reaction from the defense, and he's always going to make good on that.
Bynum dishes to West. It's stolen. The finish. Hit the wide by Indiana. Watson kicks to Stevenson. Down low. And he goes up strong with one hand and flushes it down. There it is, guys. That Olay defense. Just watching him go, Clark, right by.
I think we might be seeing which team is ready to take control of this game.
Yeah, that's a dunk that could absolutely get them going. I agree, Clark.
Phillips kicks to Smith. Pass to Bynum. Back to West. 5 to shoot. And the shot is good. West has got 8.
Boy, that was impressive. Major height disadvantage, but he still got the shot up over his man.
Well, he's got the poise to handle any matchup, and he's not easily intimidated. You can see that there.
Stevenson passes to Mahaney. Now the feed to Watson. Drills the three-pointer. Watson's got his second basket of the night.
Very well executed pick to give him all kinds of space to get that one off.
West kicks to Monroe. So the whistle blows on the shot and 2 free throws for the contact right there.
You know, the Pistons have shown interest in signing Monroe to a long-term deal, but he said that he would like to wait till after his 4th season before putting ink to paper. Might be in his best interest to do that.
And in the second quarter, a little under 3.5 minutes played already. Kicks it out to Granger. Johnson outside. He passes to Hill. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession.
I'll get a chance to check out Brandon Jennings. Some of his numbers, solid numbers last season. 16th in assists. And he was also among the league leaders in steals, finishing in the top 20 in that category.
And Steve, you're right. He definitely had a terrific season when it came to passing the basketball. I mean, he was just exquisite with his creativity and his consistency in getting the ball to the right player at the right time.
Greg Monroe, he's checked in for your Red Club. On the court for Indiana. We've got Roy Hibbert. Paul George is out there with Danny Granger. Then it's George Hill. And it's Johnson in at the 2 spot. 6 to shoot. Johnson against Stuckey. And it's off the back rim. No good.
And you know why he was open there. They didn't commit too much defense to him, and you can see why. He has trouble making that shot. The Central Division was a tough division last year, guys, but the Pistons were able to hold their own against their rivals. I mean, they ended up 4th in the standings, but still had a good record against everybody else in the division at 8-8.
Open shot, Johnson. Detroit with the rebound. Their last game, a win against Boston, looking to carry it into this one.
Yeah, and in the end, it wasn't even close. I mean, they had points coming from all over the floor.
Boy, they were locked in and ready to roll, and offensively, they just had a rhythm that was impressive.
Stuckey drives inside. And out of bounds as the Pacers gain possession. And in a division where 3 teams made the playoffs to go to 8-8 against the Central, shows you just how tough, Steve, the Pistons could be within the division.
Yeah, the Pistons have always been a mainstay in this Central Division, going way back with rivalries against the Cavs and Pacers and the Bulls. This is there's a lot of history in this division, and Detroit trying to regain its place amongst these great teams.
Hill dishes to Scola. He's guarded by Stuckey. Second chance shot, and misses it off the right side of the rim.
The defense better not make a habit of giving him that shot. I mean, he doesn't miss many of them.
West against Hill. West passes to Urethro. Back to West. He dishes it to Stuckey. West outside. And good coming on the assist on Rodney Stuckey. And that's now 11 points for Jay. Outside Hill. Back to Scola. He's guarded by Stuckey. Looking to end the drought. He clangs that one off the back iron, and down it falls. Looking at the last game for the Indiana Pacers, it was a loss to Cleveland.
And it wasn't just bad shooting. They weren't getting good looks. The offense wasn't clicking. No ball movement. Very stagnant performance.
Yeah, I agree. The reason for that, I think, was their movement away from the ball. Not very crisp.
West off the pick from the red card. Detroit needs to get off a shot. Can't hit from in close. Pacers leading by 4. George with the ball. West picks him up, and Jay gets the whistle that time. That's his first foul. Mahinmi's checked in for Indiana. Scola kicks to George. The dish to Mahinmi. Out of bounds. Detroit takes possession. And let's now go to the sideline. We'll catch up here with Doris Burke. Doris?
Hey, Kevin, Jay in that last game against the Celtics had a nice performance. He finished with 19 points, and that scoring outburst set a new season high for him in what was a great exhibition on his part. This was a big win for him and his team as they snap a losing streak with that win, guys.
All right, Doris, the guys coming off a performance like that has got to have him supremely confident right now.
Well, that never seems to be a problem for him. But you're right, Kevin. He has to be feeling at the top of his game right now.
Well, when you play well, it feeds confidence. And when you prepare to play well and works out that way, it does add another level of confidence to your next game.
And George, here we go. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him.
Well, it's not often you find a player like Paul George who, as tall as he is, can play 2 guard. But when you do, you're going to see some really big numbers in rebounding from him. And that's what George does. He wants to average double-digit rebounds.
And Stevenson's checked in for the Pacers. Jennings dishes to West. Smith with a screen on George. Phillips from outside. The rebound by Paul George. George has got his 4th rebound with that last one here tonight. And Clark, you mentioned the height of Paul George. 6'8" when he was drafted. He actually grew to 6'10" in his rookie season, Steve. So he's a young guy that's continuing to grow both on the floor and physically.
Yeah, he may be 7'2" by his 4th year. I'll tell you, though, he gives you power forward size and rebounding with guard skills. It's easy to see why the Pacers are so excited about it.
Does he remind you of anybody in particular?
A bit like Scottie Pippen, early in his career. Maybe not quite as strong as Scottie, but a similar skill set.
Pistons trailed by 6. Phillips passes to West. West off the pit from your red card. Outside Phillips. All 3 off the mark.
Not able to find it here in the second. He's off stride and off track just a bit after that one he had earlier.
Hill with it. And Jennings picks him up defensively. Scola sets a screen for Stevenson. Feeds to Scola. 6 on the shot clock. In low to Hill. It's stolen by Smith. West right side. The shot is off. Some solid defense from Stevenson. Passes to Hill. Kicks to George. Clock at 6. Gets it to go. And now an 8-point Pacer lead.
Yeah, they're going to need some help there defensively. That matchup is going to be a tough one to deal with.
Guys, they're looking for a way to score here.
Yeah, they've had a tough time getting the lid off the basket so far.
Tries to snap the cold streak, and it's West getting it to go. West has got 7 points here in this quarter.
I'll tell you what I love about him. His ability to finish even while absorbing contact. He is so strong. Even with defenders hanging all over, he continues to finish at the basket.
And another thing I love about him is his willingness to really get in there and mix it up. I mean, to put his body on the line, but that's what it's going to take to make a play.
Nice work here coming off the screen. And now it's just a 4-point Pacer lead.
Tell you what, despite that hot start from long range, they've really gotten away from the 3-point shot now.
And I know that's sacrilegious to you, Steve. I mean, being a shooter and all in your pass, you figure you should be firing away from out there at all times. But the mid-range game and in-between game served me quite well. But that hasn't been the best meal ticket for them here in the second half. You got to go with what you do best.
And the first half is now in the books. Indiana out in front, leading by 8. And coming up after the break, it'll be Damon Bruce breaking down all the highlights from the first half of play.
Now, presented by Sprint.
Let's get right to it, fans. We got plenty of first half rivalry action to review. Some good up-tempo basketball for the Pacers. It's been an uneven start to the season. They're hungry for wins, no doubt about it. David West really playing effortlessly. He's got 11 points, and look at the work he's been putting on the floor. In terms of field goal percentage, he is taking quality shot after quality shot. And a resilient Pistons team is staying in it. Outstanding bench production. They've gotten a very nice lift, and that's made a huge difference for them on the scoreboard. A great performance by Jay in the first half. He's got 15 points and also has been a factor with his rebounding. Now let's head back out to the start of the second half. Kevin Harlan, Steve Kerr, Clark Kellogg, and Doris Burke take it away.
The Sprint Halftime Report, presented by Sprint.
The second half just about to get going here. Really an incredible game from West.
Well, when he gets to the rim, I mean, you know he's going to score. That's just the way it is. And he's been getting there a lot so far today.
And Steve,
Indiana leading by 6. West in its small forward. Rodney Stuckey out there with Jennings. Then it's Smith, and it's Monroe in at the pivot spot, manning the middle. That's the group for Detroit right now. West, here's Granger, gets to the corner and buries it. Granger's got 4 points now in the quarter.
Well, he found the open man on the perimeter and got the ball to him.
You know, in order to win your division, you have to be able to win games against the rest of your conference, and that's exactly what Indiana did last season. Tough team in a tough division, and they gave no ground to other teams in the East. You got to love the big bucket in the paint in this sort of grinded-out physical game.
Yeah, that was your game, Clark. Pound it inside and take the ball right to the defense.
That's what I tried to do, man. I knew my limitations.
And the Pacers, as you mentioned, Clark, very solid against the other teams in the East as they would cruise to a 31-20 record against the rest of the conference.
And really, that's because this team is built to handle anything that's thrown at them. Given it's a big, strong, kind of old-school team they'll pound you inside, they rebound, they protect the paint. There aren't a lot of matchups that seem to bother this team.
Jennings kicks it to West. And he can't answer back. The three-pointer offline. Pacers leading by 8. Hill with it. Now Monroe defending. Monroe against Hill. Scola, a screen on Monroe. Now, here is George. He's covered closely. It's going to be a 24-second shot clock violation. They turn it over.
How about a look at the Pacers and where they ranked in the NBA last season? First in rebounding, 4th in blocks. As far as free throw shooting as a team goes, not a strong suit. Top 20 in the league. A little bit of work to be done there.
But when you think about this club, the first thing that comes to mind is their ability to rebound the ball. Best in the league, so physical. They just pounded the glass, and that's how they tried to win games, just by being more physical than their opponents.
And that is good.
They are not rotating nearly quickly enough on defense down low. Got to get quicker there.
And even if it costs them some foul trouble, I mean, they need to start putting some bodies on bodies. Be physical.
Granger against West. The drive by Granger from 12 feet out. And again, it's Indiana converting.
I like the way he's not forcing anything, taking advantage of what the defense is giving him. He's been a key contributor for them in this quarter.
Jennings dishes to Smith. Rodney Stuckey on the wing. Nice ball movement by Detroit. Here's West. And he goes in for the dunk.
Nothing fancy there. Didn't need it.
Nope. His only concern right now, Clark, is getting the points on the board, and I don't mean style.
I like the simplicity. But there was some style there, Kev. It was a pretty sweet one-handed flush.
George passes to Scola. George. And they will call over the back on the play.
Not much doubt about that over the back call.
Yeah, he was all over his back that time. Looked like he was going for a piggyback route.
Indiana making some changes. Roy Hibbert's checked in for West. Chris Copeland comes in for Danny Granger. And Orlando Johnson subbed in for Paul George. West kicks to Bynum. Dishes it to Uretko. And there's the pass to West. He feeds it to Monroe. The bucket is good. He'll have a chance for one more. Roy Hibbert puts one up.
Back to finger roll. That's a nice finesse move to pull off with the defense all over it.
Mahaney's checked in for Luis Scola.
The Pistons have gone now 5 seasons, guys, without posting a winning record, and they're on their 4th coach in that time. Been musical chairs on the bench. Hopefully, they'll be able to find some stability there and some improvement on the court. Boy, I love it. Active hands on the steal, active feet on the fast break.
And Clark power on the dunk.
And guys, this is just too close of a game to be giving the ball up like that and then failing to get back in transition.
Here's Hibbert, and it's blocked by Monroe, and he's able to get it back. Johnson attacking. Second shot opportunity. West outside. Now Uretko. He dishes it to Bynum. He kicks it to Uretko. Pass to West. The feed now to Monroe. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And the Pistons' long rebuild has hurt attendance. There's no doubt about that. It's dropped over 20% over the last decade, down around 67% last season. 44 seconds left to play in the third. Jennings against Hill. Pass to Granger to stop the run. It's rebounded by West.
It's been a real difficult game for him offensively, and it's costly.
With the lead pass, gets it to go. And it's 7 points for Josh Smith.
And it feels like the energy was just picked up big time here. And both teams now feeding off each other's intensity.
I don't know what was said in the locker rooms at halftime, Steve, but it's obvious both sides have responded well.
George dishes to West. He passes to Granger. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful. Granger's got 8 points here in this quarter. Here's Jennings. No luck. We're at the end of the third, and we've still got a close one. Pistons lead by 3. And when we return, we'll get the fourth quarter rolling right here on 2K Sports.
Nothing like NBA action. So come out to a Pistons game and enjoy the show. Pick up your tickets today to see Jay taking on the best the league has to offer. Come out and welcome our sensational new rookie.
And we're set to start the action up here in the fourth quarter. And if it's anything like the first 3, we should be in for a treat. And a moment now to quickly take a look at the offensive approach for the Pistons.
Anytime you get as many points in the paint as they have, you know you've got a good thing going, and you just want to keep it going.
And they continue to knock down the long-range three-point shot as well.
All right, now a chance to set the floor courtesy of Gatorade. Fourth quarter action, all fueled up and ready to go. On the court for Indiana. George Hill at the 1, Paul George at the 2, Ranger and West at the 4 and 6, and it's Hibbert in at the 5, roaming the paint. Hill passes to George. Hibbert covered by Monroe. And it's Hibbert missing. Pistons leading by 5. Not watching the line there. That'll be a backcourt violation. And here's what the Detroit Pistons schedule looks like. The Oklahoma City Thunder will be in town for the next one. That'll be the last of 3 straight at home for the team.
No doubt the Oklahoma City fans want to see the Thunder take that game.
Hill with it. West outside to the inside. Granger backing him down. Soft touch off the glass. Granger's got 10 points here in the second half.
Clearly he's shaken off that cold shooting performance of the first half.
Jennings kicks to Smith. West. The Pistons working the ball around now. Here's Monroe. It's rebounded by Indiana. George has got rebound number 8 now on the night. This game against Detroit here, it's their first meeting of the season.
Well, from their sweep of this season series a year ago, pretty clear why one team wound up in the postseason and the other one went home.
Jennings kicks to Stuckey. Now the dish to Monroe. So he gets the whistle. Contact on the way up and 2 shots coming up. Well, Steve just mentioned the ease with which they handled this opponent last season, Clark.
Well, the series between them really was quite ugly. I mean, not very competitive at all, as you would have guessed from looking at the standings at the end of the year.
And we're about 3.5 minutes into the fourth quarter. Count it! And we'll have a chance for a 3-point play. Roy Hibbert gets one up.
Great job getting the ball inside right now. Coach really wants them to show some physical presence and toughness here in the second half. And that's exactly what they're doing. Well, Detroit has always been one of those teams you think of when it comes to franchises that epitomize the rough and tough Eastern Conference. Always look to be a tough defensive team, and they might not have the flashiest players, but they have some of the toughest, no doubt.
Stolen. Dishes to George. And it's Granger penetrating. Good work defensively by Smith.
The defense was ready for him that time, and they had to be. He is so powerful in the lane.
Feeds it to Uredko. Back to West. Pass to Monroe. Kicks it to Uretko. West. Just 5 to shoot. And it's Paul George with the foul. That's his 3rd foul of the game. And Clark, as you said, the Pistons were strong against the rest of the East last year. Didn't give away too many games, and 25 of their 29 wins came against Eastern opponents.
Yeah, they took advantage of the weaker conference for sure, but it just shows you how much growth they have ahead of them, because in order to get to the playoffs, they're going to have a good record against the West as well.
That's good. George has got 4 this quarter. So it's Detroit now. They've given up just 8 points in the 4th quarter. Here's Uretko. Here's Monroe. Laid in with a nice touch off the glass. And the Pistons lead by 5.
It's a great play under the boards for him, and that's the standard that he sets. It seems like all those second chance points, I mean, they're there for him game in, game out.
Granger defended by Uretko. Can't get it to go. Great defense that time.
That's kind of a shocker. The defense was there, but it wasn't right in his face. Kind of out of character for him to miss those.
West passes to Monroe. Jennings kicks it to West. Off target from 3-point range.
He's still looking for his first 3-pointer of the second half after making just 1 in the first.
And it's Granger penetrating. The teardrop falls in. Granger's got 12 points in just the second half.
Now there's something for the top 10 highlight reel right there. A layup can be just as sweet and as pretty as a dunk sometimes.
West off the pick from Monroe. West kicks to Monroe. Granger with the defensive effort.
Couldn't convert, but nice little 2-man game there.
And it wouldn't surprise me to see them go back to that the next trip.
Dishes to Hill. Outside Scola. And he gets the friendly spin, and that one drops. And it's now only a 1-point Detroit lead. Let's find out what Doris Burke has for us.
Well, Kevin, head coach of the Pistons had some words for his team over the break. His message, don't even look at the score right now. We've got to make one play at a time and execute. That's how we'll take this thing home. Kevin, he's trying to keep them focused.
Thank you, Doris. West dishes to Monroe. Back to West. There's the pass to Smith. And it's going to be out of bounds. The Pacers will take it. And a chance now to check out the schedule for Indiana. They'll be playing host to Chicago for their next game. That'll be the first of 2 straight at home. Pacers have gone 6 of 13, so just above 46% on their field goal attempts here in the quarter. And here is Hill. Back to Granger. 6 on the shot clock. To take the lead. And there are the Pacers with another bucket. Detroit's gotten off to an 0-for-2 start from downtown here in the 4th quarter. West setting the pick for Jennings. He feeds it to West. He dishes it to Uretko. No good with the triple. For Indiana, they've gone through the 4th quarter shooting 50%, 7 of 14. They get it again. Granger. And you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Boy, I tell you what, nice little run here they're going on.
Now the story is points in the paint, Clark. I mean, they're getting point-blank shots every time down.
And the Pistons making a change here. Stuckey's checked in.
You know what, it's been a while since the Pacers were able to win their division. Matter of fact, the last time it happened was the season right before the NBA realigned the division to their current state back in 2004. But they were able to raise another banner last season.
So it's Indiana picking up the win. Both teams played well, but these guys have the edge.
Yeah, I think so. They were just steak knife sharp. Very on top of their game here.
Well said. Thank you for joining us for this presentation of NBA basketball on 2K Sports. For Clark, Stephen Doris, and the rest of the crew, Kevin Harlan saying see you next time.
Huge game tonight for someone with your level of experience. Do you feel you were capable of this type of play this early, or did it just come out of nowhere?
I've always had a lot of confidence in my abilities, but I'd be lying if I said I expected this. Look, the NBA is where the best basketball in the world is played night in and night out. And it's not easy to jump right in and ignore the learning curve. I need to prove that I can play this way on a more consistent basis before I get too excited, though. Don't get me wrong, it was a great game, and I'm proud of the way I played, but let's see if I can do it a few more times, and maybe then we can continue this conversation.